That is another thing. Then again, the people trust that this tax, if they pay, will it be used for? Will it not be filtered away just the same way the oil money was thrown and we don't even know where it is now? We only hear figures. The issue of tax, Nigerians are very patient people. Our problem is we don't trust the fact that this tax will be used for Nigerians. Nigerians are ready to make as a matter of fact, every Nigerian deserve an award for making sacrifice.
Survival.
But you have to be a Nigerian. You are supposed to have a survival badge. I went, I saw, and I am conquering. So it is trust issues. We don't trust. If you don't manage the oil money properly, you don't manage IGR properly. If you collect the tax, will it be managed? Is there transparency? There is no transparency in all these things. That is our problem. And the biting hunger, the pressure on people is so much now that nobody wants to give a space for you to take a dime. Nobody wants to give to Caesar, because actually if you give to Caesar, you might end up not having anything at all. So I think this is not the time to give to Caesar. I think let the government be more innovative. There are different ways in which there are resources which we can tap and also make money from. You don't really have to tax the people. For now, that is my point.
Okay, one thing that a lot of people are afraid is, it's like Nigerians don't have hope in our judiciary, in our legislators. So many people believe that if this bill is allowed to go to the House, the federal government may buy its way out and get it passed. What do you think about that, in line with the earlier suggestion you have given?
Yes, that is true. There are instances in this country where things like that happen. There are instances where the National Assembly become the rubber stamp of the government. But there are also instances where the government, the presidency, didn't have its way. There are instances of the third term, and there are so many situations where the National Assembly stood their ground and went with the people. So let's look towards that. I'm not agreeing that the tax reform is a good thing. I'm not saying we are ripe for those tax reform. But I'm saying this with the hope that the National Assembly will do the right thing, in the sense that they will not agree. And at that point in time, there will be no way, there will be no maneuvering of bringing it back.
Okay, let's listen to what the special advisor to the governor on media and strategy, that is Bayo Onanuga, said. He said President Bola Tinubu received the National Economic Council recommendation that the tax reform bill already sent to the National Assembly be withdrawn for further conversation. He said President Tinubu, while commending the National Executive Council led by the Vice President Shetima Abubakar and the 36 state governors for their advice, state that he believed that the legislative process, which has already begun, provide an opportunity for input and necessary change without withdrawing the bill from the National Assembly. He further said the tax reform bill has also generated controversy, with the northern Nigerian governors recently coming up to reject the sharing value-added tax on derivative basis. The president's statement said the Tinubu welcomed further consultation while the National Assembly considered the bill for passage. While urging the NEC to allow the process to take its full course, President Tinubu welcomed further consultation and engagement with key stakeholders to address any reservation about the bill, while the National Assembly considered them for passage. When President Tinubu set up the Presidential Committee on Tax and Fiscal Policy Reform in August 2023, he had only one objective: to reposition economy for better productivity and efficiency, and make the operating environment for investment and business more conducive. The objective remains more critical even today than ever before. The statement further argued that having worked for over a year, the Tax Reform Committee received input from different segments of the society. The committee worked for over a year and received input from different segments of society across the geopolitical zone, including trade association, professional body, different ministries and government agencies, governors, traders, students, business owners, and other private. The presidency lists some of the high points of the bill as elimination of multi-taxation while making Nigerian economy more competitive by simplifying tax obligation for business individual nationwide. It will also noted that the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, which is part of the proposed new rule of governing of administration of all tax in the country. Its objective is to harmonize tax administration process across federal, state, and local judiciary to ease taxpayers' compliance and ease the revenue for all tiers of government. Others include Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which seek to re-establish the Federal Inland Revenue Service as the Nigerian Revenue Service to better reflect its mandate as revenue agency for the entire federation, not just for the federal government. The Joint Revenue Board also proposed to replace the Joint Tax Board covering federal and all state authority. As an office of tax under the Joint Tax Board, it also set to establish with the aim of protecting taxpayers' interests, facilitating dispute resolution. The statement also argued that the bill will effectively coordinate federal, state, and local tax authority, thereby eliminating the overlapping responsibility, confusion, and inefficiency that has plagued tax administration in Nigeria for decades. While there may be different in approach or specific provision of the new tax law, what is not in contention is the need to review our tax law and how we administer them to serve as overall national development agenda, the statement reads. What can you say about this President's statement?
This is, if you look at the whole package, you can see that there are a lot of items on the list that is that will be good for at least to restructure the tax system and the rest of it. And there's this inequitable distribution of the tax and VAT. And if you look at it, they even said there's going to be an ombudsman who is going to look into the inequitable distribution of taxes. So these are some of the things that the reason why it should go through the legislative process. The items that are not favorable to Nigerians should be dropped, and the ones that are going to bring reform and also promote the effective collection of tax. Because even right now, the taxes that we are supposed to collect now, do we really have a system that remits this tax? Have we been able to spread the dragnet in such a way that it owes everybody that is supposed to pay tax? These are some of the things. You plug the leakages. Then there's well, I don't know, this government seems to like to change name, change anthems, and they also want to change it to Nigeria Revenue Service. Well, I don't know how that will affect the effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. But I think we should critically look at this and see the federal government tax laws on taxation have some very eminent accountants and economists on it, and I know that they've done a very good homework. So we shouldn't throw away all their recommendations. We should pick the ones that are good, and we should drop the ones that will put weight on Nigerians for now.
Okay, what's your take about what the president just released, the press statement by the special advisor to the governor on strategic communication?
the truth is that Onanunga is just in the sense that if you follow that press statement from the beginning to the end, it's the language, the body language of that statement is not looking at the situation where this bill will not be passed. They are already looking at the implementation and the execution of all those things like that. So I think this statement is not fair to Nigerians. It is not balanced. But the ball now is in the court of the National Assembly and the electorate. If there is a way Nigeria can exert influence on those people they have sent to the National Assembly to do the right thing as their representative in the National Assembly, it is fine. Else, the presidency is already looking at the situation where the National Assembly will pass this bill into law, and they are already talking about the changing of name, just like Mr. Jordan mentioned. They are good with that. They are looking at it towards that end. So, it still come back to what I said earlier. The electorates, the governors, all the group that feel that this bill should not be passed should start working, and the time starts now, because delay is dangerous. Exert all the influence, put all the necessary pressure, and see to it that this law is not passed. Else, we're going to face the music.
Okay, thank you so much. If you are just joining us, this is Hangout with Journalists. I have with me the Director of News and Current Affairs of Super TV, Mr. Ira Daniel Ikwe. We also have Mr. Jordan with us in the studio, the Director of Programs of Some TV. And they have been talking about some tropical issue happening in our country. You also can join the conversation. You can send a text message. You can send WhatsApp message through this number 08020592870. You can also comment on our Facebook channel. You can comment on our YouTube channel. You can comment on our app and any of the channels that you are watching us from. We're going to look at some of the things that you are saying. Now, let's come back to Taraba. And today, we saw Governor Abu Kefas sign some memorandum of understanding with the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCC. Some weeks ago, we saw the governor went to China, that is at the headquarters of the ECC Construction Company. And today in Abuja at the T.Y. Danjuma house, we saw him having some meetings and agreement. Now let me read some of the reports sent in by one of our reporter. And he said, Governor Abu Kefas has doubled efforts towards the implementation of the Taraba Development Master Plan 2024. It is not far-fetched from his stakeholders meeting with the president of the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company held at T.Y. Danjuma House, Asokoro, Abuja. And he said, speaking, the governor said his collaboration with the Chinese company will no doubt unlock potential of the states. The governor noted that the ongoing rehabilitation and construction of Ambabasunte Airport in Jalingo, which is the gateway to the state, is a demonstration of the commitment of his administration towards development. He expressed hope that no distance time the state is going to take lead in energy distribution, adding that the new hydropower project, which the CCEC will launch to distribute energy to the state and other parts of the country. The governor said by working with the CCECC, the state can expand its road network, improve transportation system, manage its resources, and drive state economy for the interest of all. Commenting, the president of the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, Chan Chin, who was represented by the chief executive director of the company, Joe Bochu, said their partnership with Taraba state government is a remarkable step to the development of the state. He then understood the importance of infrastructure to the progress and prosperity of the state, expressed readiness to serve the state, even as he said the CC has over the years been a major service provider in the country. On the state of the development of the Taraba State Master Plan, Engineer Alex Onibu, who spoke to that regard, said Taraba State Development Plan 2024 did not only concentrate on Jalingo, the state capital, but made provision for development of senatorial zone and all the local government area of the state. He said their firm was one that took the Abuja Phase 2 master plan and expressed hope that the state will soon be a force to reckon with as far as development is concerned. The meeting later went into a closed door, and the event featured signing of MOU between the company and Taraba state government. Mr. Jordan, what can you say about that?
Well, the CCECC company is a well-known construction company in Nigeria. I think the first time I came across them was during 2005 thereabouts, where they constructed the road from in Lagos, the road from Egbeda to Lasu Gate, and they did a very beautiful job at that. That was the first job that opened the doors for them in Lagos and other parts of the country. We know the Chinese can give you what you want. They can give you quality and they can give you quantity. My take on all this is Taraba has infrastructural deficits, which everybody knows. We are deficient in roads, in airports, in many areas. And I think we need partnership with companies like CCECC, who will be able to fund some of the projects and you just bring counterpart funds, or who can give you loan, or will allow you to structure the project in such a way that you can pay in the long term. The only thing I know is that we should understand the fine print of the agreement of the contract. It's a very good one. And I saw another report. During the signing, they had the Minister of Regional Planning, who is from Taraba State, also there. And he was saying they are ready to support Taraba State in the development of infrastructure. And just like the governor said, he is bringing in this company not really to start new projects, but to complete the projects that are already on ground. I think that is a good one. We need to mop up. There are a lot of things that are on ground that need to be finished. And now, if you complete those projects, you now know where exactly we stand. But if you leave a project that is on ground and you start a fresh one, at the end of the day, the ones you leave on ground will begin to deteriorate. So it's a good one if the contracts are properly signed, because we know we've heard stories recently of Ogun State and seized the aircraft and the rest of it. But I believe in the case of Taraba State, we wouldn't go that route. We will ensure that the proper contracts are signed and we keep to agreement with the CCECC. And the CCECC is not a company that wants to leave Nigeria for now. So they are not a company that will, if you hold them, they seize your aircraft or they seize your data, because they have long-term investment in Nigeria and Taraba. To me, it's a good development. The governor needs to ensure that in any area we can get funds or technical partners to ensure that our infrastructure improve. It is really welcome.
Okay, what's your take, Mr. Ira?
Yes, I don't know if there is this development master plan before this one. If there was no any. This is a step in the right direction. Everything is.
There was the 2024 master plan that was recently developed by the KFAS-led administration.
And that's what I'm saying. The governor is doing something that is spectacular in the sense that everything is foundational. If the foundation is faulty, you will not be able to achieve anything. So for him to have thought of a master plan in the first place is a step in the right direction. And the CCECC recently too, when he was in China, he was in their office and they mentioned how they are going to commission the Jalingo airports in a matter of months away from now. They say December. You know, that is a good thing in the sense that air traveling in Taraba State is not a new thing. Air traveling in Taraba is not a new thing. It has been there since in the early 19th centuries, in the sense that missionaries in southern Taraba, places like Gashaka, there were airstrip in Takum, Gashaka, even in Jalingo here, there used to be airstrip. But along the line, they disappeared like that. So the resuscitating of an international airport, or airport of international standard in Jalingo, is a step in the right direction. One thing I want to give kudos to the governor is the fact that he deemed it wise to start from the foundation, throwing out the plan first. Then, as time goes on, even subsequent government after he has left will stick to the plan. Abuja is what it is today. So many presidents have come, so many leadership have come, but the reason why Abuja is still growing and is still taking the shape it is taking now is because there was a master plan, and that is a step in the right direction.
Okay, this development, as we say it, that happens in Abuja was attended by the governor, the secretary to the state government. We saw also traditional rulers, the Akuka of Vukari. We saw the Gara of Donga. We saw the chief of Takum. We saw the Lamdo of Gashaka. We saw the Pantin of Zing. I see as if the governor is trying to. We also saw the member representing Jalingo Yoro constituency. We saw the member representing Adokola Lau. We saw the senator representing Let me hear your final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts on this, I'm going to speak to the issue of Taraba State. I think the government have the master plan is out, and the work is now in progress to implement that master plan. There should be transparency. There should be no vacuum in information dissemination. It should ensure that people know what is going on, and that is why we have some TV, whereby we can help disseminate the information about what the government is actually doing. Because in this area of social media, you will see a lot of misinformation about the contract, about the Taraba's relationship with CCECC. I think government need to manage the information properly in such a way that people will be sure that this collaboration with CCECC is a collaboration that is going to bring development to Taraba. And I believe we in the Sun TV here will ensure that yes, we promote the good of Taraba in any way we can.
Yeah,
Mr.
yes, I want to discuss. I want to talk about the issue of tax reform. The issue of tax reform. The truth is that, in my own opinion, we're not yet ripe for that. So every hand should be on deck. Every influence should be activated. Every influence should be exerted to see to it that we are not thrown into another higher level of suffering. That is what we should. The governors, the national assemblies, the community leaders, just like we have been doing here in some TV. I want to believe that the CEO will give the platform for such comments, such hearing. If you have a way of saying it out, come over, there's a platform for you to say it out. Tax reform, we're not ready for that at this point in time. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't think Nigeria is ready for that tax reform.
Okay, I want to sincerely appreciate all my guests, Mr. Ira Daniel Ukwe, the Director of News and Current Affairs of Sun TV. Thank you for sharing your view with us on this program. I also want to appreciate Mr. Joda. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this issue. I want to appreciate all the crew, Mr. James, who joined us together with you from the studio, and Mr. Shamaki, who managed the floor on this program. I want to thank all our viewers for being part of this maiden edition of Hangout with Journalists. This program comes up 6 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's good. It's a platform in which we will be giving you opportunity to hear your view and to say one or two things to the things that is happening in this country and the world at large. Thank you so much. You can keep your comments coming in, and we love to hear your feedback about the program, about some of the things we have discussed.